This week on 49ers Cal High Sports presented by U.S. Bank, we'll meet the super smart Lee softball star playing for her dad. We have the Carondelet lacrosse team and their giving during the pandemic.
We'll meet the top swimmer from Bellarmine and tell you where he will swim next year, and the Let Them Play movement to bring sports back this school year. It's all next on 49ers Cal High Sports presented by U.S. Bank. Welcome to 49ers Cal High Sports presented by U.S. Bank. I'm Aubrey Tolliver.
And I'm Robert Bronstein. We start tonight with a basketball player from Menlo.
The Pay family has been a part of the Menlo Park girls basketball scene for well over 2 decades. The youngest Pay is entering her senior year and is looking forward to one last year she gets to spend playing alongside her teammates and under her favorite coach.
Basketball has always been a really big part of my life.
Menlo senior Georgia Pay was born to a basketball family.
I grew up in the gym. My dad was a basketball coach. He owned his own sports club. He owned a gym for a little bit. So I grew up watching my sisters play.
Both of Georgia's older sisters played basketball at Menlo, and so did her dad, John, who is in his 20th season as the head coach. But Georgia admits she didn't completely buy in at first.
I think at the early beginnings, I didn't really like it. It was like something my sisters did, and my parents were kind of forcing me to do it, and I didn't think I was really good at it. So I used to hate it. I used to hide in the bathroom, not go. And I think going into high school was a really special moment for me because I was just surrounded by a lot of support, and I felt really included in my team.
So George is a real special player who understands the nuances of the game. She's kind of a defensive specialist, but also a very good entry passer into the post, kind of old school basketball. That's kind of how I got to play basketball at Stanford, was I could always throw the ball inside, and my coaches said, "Good job, John."
John coached all 3 of his daughters at Menlo, not to mention his younger sister, Kate, who's now an assistant coach on the Stanford women's team. John was a 3-sport athlete at Menlo, playing football, basketball, and baseball. He went on to play football at Stanford and was then selected by the 49ers in the 10th round. That was when his coaching career at Menlo began.
I was playing for the San Francisco 49ers when we went on strike in 1987, and we didn't have anything better to do, so Steve Young, my roommate and fellow quarterback, came here. We coached the 87-88 Menlo girls basketball team. And then when we went back to work, I was put on injured reserve because I had a bad shoulder, so I continued to coach while Steve went on to play.
We've never had a toxic dad and daughter relationship when it comes to basketball. It's normally been pretty neutral, and I think he has done a good job about keeping them pretty separate, but it's always been a positive thing in our relationship. It's something fun for us to talk about.
Basketball is also something Georgia gets to share with her older brother, Jack.
He's been at home my whole life, so I have 2 older sisters, but he's stayed with me while my sister's gone off to college and the rest of their lives. So it's really nice having him always there, and especially at basketball games. He's always there for support. He's always normally the loudest. He's always there to high five you when you got on the bench. He's always there, and it's really nice having that constant support.
It's been so neat to see how well the girls have treated him at each of his different eras, knowing all of my oldest daughter's teammates and middle daughters, and it's just been really neat having a special needs son and having everyone kind of being accepting of it. I commend my community that I live in because they've been very accepting towards Jack Pay. Who do you always like to watch? You said, Dad, turn on what game?
Menlo versus Pinewood.
And who won that game, Menlo versus Pinewood, that we always show all the time?
No, Menlo won.
Oh, yeah, Menlo won that one. That's right. Yeah, we like that.
Menlo won that one.
Oh, yeah, we like that one. We watch that one a lot.
John has coached 4 Menlo teams to state championships, the latest being in 2018 when Georgia was a sophomore.
To win it was unbelievable. I couldn't tell you a memory from the game. I was just blacked out. It was a really proud moment, I would say. I was really proud of my team and everything that we've done. I was proud of my coaches, myself. Every person that helped put together a team was definitely a group effort, and it was definitely an honor to say that and hear that. So.
The neatest thing I think about sports is when you do something that's not expected. So in 1989, the Menlo team wasn't expected to win, and we won the state championship. And then this last one that we won in 2018 with Georgia's team, that was unexpected too. I also kind of draw the analogy of maybe the San Francisco 49ers when the 49ers, we won our first Super Bowl. No one was expecting it, so there was all this excitement. So pretty much I got to live that twice, in 1989 for Menlo girls basketball, and then even more so with my daughter in 2018.
I think it was really special. Like, my dad obviously has so many accomplishments and is very successful in the sports realm. So to have like a little part of that was really special, and I'm really honored to share that with him. And I also have like two older sisters that have played basketball and had their own accomplishments. So it was something special to have just between me and my dad and have to myself. So.
Georgia is ready for her senior season. One last season for memories like these, and one last year playing for her biggest fan. Georgia chose not to pursue collegiate basketball, but she hopes to play for some intramural teams. So this season will truly be her last ride.
And hopefully there will be a season.
Yes.
We'll talk a little bit more about that later on.
All right, Stevens Creek Chevrolet brings us the Spirit Corner each week.
Let's check in on the Granada Matadors cheer team. Coming up, the Bellarmine swimmer and his path to success.
And later, the Marin Catholic lineman giving tremendous support to his family. You're watching 49ers Cal High Sports.
Some see a grilled cheese sandwich and ask why. I see a new kitchen with a grill and ask why not.
I really need to start adding less to cart and more to savings.
Sitting on this couch so long made me want to make some changes, starting with this couch.
Yeah, I need a house with a different view. And this is the bank that will help you do it all. Because at U.S. Bank, our people are dedicated to turning your new inspiration into your next pursuit.
When I first came here, my goal was to be a contributing player on my high school's JV football team. The center actually not only helped me achieve my goals, but exceed even what I initially set out to do. I was able to continue playing football professionally through a lot of the things that I learned at the Rega Center. The Rega Center is a place to help you achieve your goals and then, tailor it to whatever the person's goals might be.
1, 2, 3.
Get ready to cheer for your next new or used car at Stevens Creek Chevrolet.
Stevens Creek Chevrolet!
We're ready to make your buying experience safe and easy. Come to our dealership to see and test drive one of hundreds of great Chevrolet cars and trucks. Or you can go online to shop, order, and have your new car delivered right to your door. So get fired up for a great deal right here at
Stevens Creek Chevrolet!
Go to SB Live California as your destination for the very best in local high school sports coverage online. SB Live brings sports fans exclusive articles, highlights, coaches, polls, and photo galleries. Get the SB Live app for the latest scores from games played all around the Bay Area and California. This season, SB Live brings you exclusive content in partnership with 49ers Cal High Sports. Follow us at SB Live CA on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. SB Live, the Bay Area's first destination for the latest in high school sports.
49ers Cal High Sports is brought to you by these fine companies who care about high school sports. By Invisalign, transforming smiles, changing lives. By Stevens Creek Chevrolet, find new roads. By Wingstop, Order Wingstop's new all-in bundle, just $19.99. See wingstop.com for restrictions and details. And by Cupertino Electric, the company delivering power and possibilities and celebrating student athletes making a positive impact.
We are back with this week's DGDG.com feature story.
Aubrey Bellarmine's Kevin Cechak is one of the top swimmers in the nation. His speed and agility in the pool has earned this amazing athlete a big-time scholarship. For Kevin Cechak, life is a sprint. The Bellarmine swimmer likes the fast lane. He's really good at the short distances.
So actually at first I was long distance because I was so small, but as I grew up I got bigger and then I just became a sprinter, which I'm very glad I did.
Why is that?
I definitely don't like the long distance. It's more fun to race up front and sprint.
Like most great swimmers, Kevin started at a young age, learning very quickly. Swimming was his sport.
I got into swimming because of my parents. They wanted me to be pool safe because we were building a pool in our backyard. So I got swim lessons when I was 4 years old. And then a year later, I joined the Cabana swim team. And then my coach at the time, Liv, told me I was naturally talented and she wanted me to join Quicksilver and swim competitively year-round. And ever since, I've been swimming with Quicksilver.
Kevin's early success led to success in high school, competing with upperclassmen on the Bellarmine team. This convinced Kevin he could become a Division I swimmer.
When he first came to this club, when he was younger, as a 10 under, he already had the natural instinct to race. So you could already tell that he enjoyed going off the blocks, racing different opponents from all over. So when his, going to JOs, Junior Olympics, his younger meets, Far Westerns, things like that excited him, and making finals. So it was really fun to watch.
I think my freshman year, when I was a part of the relay at CCS with 2 seniors and a junior, and all 3 of them went on to swim D1 in college. I think at that point I really knew.
Kevin started receiving Division I offers, narrowing his choices to 4 top schools.
So my junior year, I visited 4 schools: Notre Dame, Wisconsin, Minnesota, and USC. And I'm very thankful that I was able to take all the trips before COVID. And so I just went on the trips, and then ultimately I decided to commit to USC.
We were really excited about his choice with USC. At that time, they were going through a coach change. So he was confident that they were going to find someone to replace the previous coach that was going to be good, and they did. They definitely picked up an amazing coach coming from Northwestern. So I'm really happy that he did make that decision, and he's always been really fond of the assistant coach, and he was going to be staying. So I knew that was very important for Kevin.
Kevin was really easy. He was one of the best in California, and it helps that he's one of the best in the country. And we've had a few guys from Bellarmine, and so we've had a few successes there, and so kind of having a few guys who knew Kevin, they were in our ear when he was only a freshman, just letting us know to kind of look out for him. And we go to the state championships and to CIF sections and all of that, and so got a chance to watch him race, and yeah, we really liked his demeanor and just how coachable he seemed, and we're really excited to have him be a part of the program here.
Kevin knows he is fortunate to have his college set during this pandemic. He has plenty of teammates who are unable to talk with coaches during this uncertain time. He even had a chance to compete in a meet last month with his Quicksilver Club team.
It was really cool. We just had our own at-home swim meet, and we just raced in our individual lane and individual warm-up lane. I was relatively happy with my times.
Kevin has what it takes to be a great sprinter, some skills he has learned and others that are a part of who he is.
So when he sets his feet on the wall and pushes, that's also a key thing, and how hard you can push off the wall. He rides his push and then keeps his body line and adds his dolphin kicks. His dolphin kicks come from all the way from his core to his hamstrings, his quads, his calves, and his feet are actually very flexible. So his feet has helped him be very, he can kick a lot of water, and they're also wide and flat. So he was actually, that was pretty natural in the dolphin kicking as well.
So his underwaters, especially for a sprinter, especially in college swimming, short course, it's a huge deal. And he's one of the best high school underwater kickers that we've seen. And so we're really excited to just continue to develop him with that feel. Now we'll add in some strength and some other things that we can coach. And, he'll take his natural ability plus a little added, strength and speed and training with some guys in the upper echelon from where he is currently. And, I think the sky's the limit for him.
Kevin is hoping to swim this spring with the Bellarmine team and then off to USC as his life in the fast lane continues. Kevin has his scholarship set, but he would really like to end his senior season in the pool with his Bellarmine teammates.
Yeah, and USC, big accomplishment. That is amazing.
Yeah, very nice for Kevin. He deserves it. He's really good.
Good. All right, Cal Hope is working to make it easier for teens to battle through the emotional stress of the pandemic.
Here's this week's Cal Hope mental health tip.
Improve your mood during the pandemic by reaching out to your family and friends. Chatting on the phone or texting someone you care about can really help. Seek out people who can lift your spirits or make you laugh, because while we're physically separated, we can still be socially connected.
Coming up, Lee softball star Rachel McCarroll honoring her father on the field.
And later, members of the Carondelet girls lacrosse team banding together to help their community.
People always asking me what I got on. They be like, hey Brandon, what you got on? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
Invis is everything braces isn't. More comfortable, fewer emergency appointments. Invisalign.
It's understandable to feel anxious, stressed, or lonely because of COVID-19. Physical separation, your own health, and the health of friends and family can weigh heavily on you. Call a timeout on work. Get a game plan for mental wellness with crucial mental health resources from Cal Hope. We'll help you carry the ball. Call 1-833-317-HOPE to talk to someone who can help, or visit calhope.org. Cal Hope, official partner of the San Francisco 49ers.
Every day, the sun comes up. And right on cue, the work begins. We start every morning, knowing full well we're in it for the long haul. Our work is a labor of love. No task too small, no moment uncherished. And although we're not often thanked, we rest knowing that our work is making a brighter future. This is more than milk.
Invis is everything braces isn't. Eating the food you love, life uninterrupted. Invisalign.
We're the De La Salle Spartans. And this is the 49ers Cal High Sport Report.
Welcome back. U.S. Bank helps us bring you stories of inspirational athletes who overcome adversity to succeed in school and in sports.
Tonight we meet the Lee softball star player coping with the loss of her dad. Our Danielle Podlosky has the story.
Lee senior pitcher Rachel McCarroll grew up playing softball in her backyard with her dad. In 2014, Rachel's dad passed away, but Rachel is determined to work hard and succeed in the sport her and her dad loved.
Powerful, composed, intimidating. 3 words to describe Lee senior pitcher Rachel McCarroll.
She is what you would call a power pitcher. And the last time I gunned her was probably 4 or 5 months ago. But she throws in the range of 62 to 64 miles an hour. And if she's throwing a fastball inside at your hands, I don't know how many people have the courage to stay in and swing at that pitch. So,
Rachel was introduced to the sport of softball at an early age by her dad.
My dad was a baseball player through high school and college. It was his favorite sport as well. So when I started playing softball and really started to fall in love with it, it became a connection that we shared, and we both just loved being on the field together.
Growing up, Rachel's dad coached every single one of Rachel's softball teams.
My dad would know every single detail of every single play, and we would definitely go through it, but he wasn't. For us, it was more of a learning experience and building on mistakes and seeing how I could
improve on the field.
Rachel's dad started training Rachel to become a switch hitter when she was 8.
I am a natural born righty, and in 8U my dad wanted me to learn how to switch hit. So instead of hitting on the right, he had me train hitting on the left, and as much as I hated it, I just stuck with it.
Rachel hit lefty for 2 years. Her dad planned on working on her right-handed swing in the summer of 2014, but he never had the opportunity. Rachel's dad passed away unexpectedly in May 2014.
Going through that was definitely the hardest thing my family and I had to live through and somehow overcome. It's still really, really difficult, but having each other has made it that much easier.
Kevin loved his family with a passion. He was a wonderful man. And Rachel has 2 sisters, so he would always make every game in practice that he could. And prior to his death, he would catch every every lesson that his daughter had.
After her dad's death, Rachel turned all of her focus to softball, the sport that bonded her and her father.
After my dad's passing, it was kind of a moment that hit her that without my dad there, she wanted to continue to play softball. It was the thing she loved. She spends all of her time into it, and it was just a really great fit for her, this sport.
I was still pretty involved in other sports, such as volleyball and basketball here at Lee, but softball was really kind of where I grew up with my dad, and it's a big connection that we had, and so now whenever I play, I still am able to feel that connection with him, and that's a big reason why I still play.
Rachel proudly wears number 5 for Lee, the same number her dad wore for his high school baseball team.
Being able to wear number 5 is such a privilege to me. I mean, I love to be able to kind of carry my dad's legacy and his love and determination to play baseball in the softball area, and I know he would be so excited to see me out there wearing number 5 too. And it just kind of reminds me of why I really love the sport and how I first got introduced to it.
In the abbreviated 2020 season, Rachel pitched to a 3-2 record with 35 strikeouts and a dominating 2.83 ERA. Her stellar play, along with her impressive 4.17 GPA, caught the eyes of a lot of colleges. But this talented pitcher had her heart set on one specific school. In November, Rachel committed to play Division I softball at Dartmouth.
In talking to the coach, she was awesome, and she works with pitchers herself, so being able to work with her will be amazing. I also got to talk to the assistant coach and some of the girls, and what they were creating their culture and just their style of game was something I really wanted to be a part of, and I couldn't be happier.
Rachel has come a long way since the heartbreaking loss of her dad. Through difficult times, Rachel never gave up.
Her dad would want her to do, when you fall down, get up, keep going forward. And that's what she did, to the amazement of me. I don't really think I could have.
Although her dad is not here physically, Rachel knows he is proudly watching down on her, analyzing every pitch.
My dad would be the proudest one out of all of us. I mean, we're all super proud, but he out of everyone, just to see her keep going with her passion, with his passion, to carry it on, he would be beyond words proud.
I think my dad would be extremely excited to see that I'm continuing to play softball at the next level, because he did so too. I think being able to put in all that work with him in the beginning has really paid off, and he just, even though he's not here physically, to be able to kind of watch me and just see the potential and be able to continue that progression is really exciting for him and me.
Every time Lee pitcher Rachel McCarroll steps onto the mound, she thinks of her dad. It's where she feels closest to him. Rachel's dad taught her everything she knows. Rachel hopes to keep his legacy alive with every big play, win, and strikeout. Rachel is excited for her next chapter at Dartmouth and hopes she'll be able to wear number 5 for the Big Green. Robert and Aubrey, back to you.
Thanks, Danielle. Wingstop brings us the Wings of an Angel honor each week, where a student athlete talks about their favorite teacher.
Here's Jessie Junio from Carondelet talking about her favorite teacher, Ian Buckles.
My chem teacher from 2 years ago, he coaches our JV softball team, and he just makes it so much easier to learn about sciences, because sciences just aren't my best subject, so he just makes it so much easier. He doesn't make everything so complicated to the point where you don't understand it. He just teaches it and then that's it. He doesn't overcomplicate anything.
Our Wings of an Angel teacher will receive a Wingstop gift card for doing such a great job.
Wingstop is also honoring Terry Blanchard, a Wingstop owner who passed away this past spring from COVID-19. Wingstop will be supporting scholarships for athletes of color in Terry's honor, those scholarships to be presented at our awards ceremony in June.
Coming up, the Let Them Play effort to bring back games in high school sports.
And later, the Carondelet lacrosse squad and how they're giving during COVID.
Are you ready to sink your teeth into a lemon pepper, sweet and spicy Korean cute-tastic mango habanero
master class in all things wings?
Yes, I am.
Are you though?
I'll take that.
All right. Get the new all-in bundle for just $19.99. Available for delivery and carry-out for a limited time. Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings.
Piercy Honda, located right off Highway 880 in Milpitas, is where you will find hundreds of new and pre-owned Hondas to choose from. Low credit score, no credit, first-time buyer? No problem, Piercy Honda can help. Find us online at piercyhonda.com to search our inventory, calculate your payments, and even complete your purchase. Piercy Honda is home to great customer service, great deals, and a more convenient way to buy a new or pre-owned Honda. Go to Piercy Honda in Milpitas.
The Guzmans were about to close on a home they adored, but at the last minute, their mortgage company denied their loan because the unusual home didn't meet their usual loan requirements. Heartbroken, they turned to Tri-Counties Bank home mortgage loan specialist Vincent Pagara. Specializing in custom loans for unique homes, his team quickly designed a creative solution, uniting the Guzmans and their home just in time. That's a perfect match. For personalized problem solving, switch to Tri-Counties Bank. Service with solutions.
49ers Cal High Sports is brought to you by these fine companies who care about high school sports. By DGDG.com, where we want you to be a happy car buyer. By the Reiki Center, where goals and dreams become a reality. By Tri-Counties Bank, service with solutions. 12 locations now open in the Bay Area. And by the Serena Group, here for good.
I'm Kathleen Pazine with Sereno Group Real Estate, and I'm proud to support Bay Area high school sports on the 49ers Cal High Sports Report.
Welcome back to 49ers Cal High Sports. Up next, we share with you the effort to get games played this year in high schools throughout California.
Aubrey, the state of California is about to announce its guidance for high school sports. Their decision will affect thousands of athletes, their families, and coaches. Since the start of the school year, Bay Area high school athletes have spent their time working out while wading through a pandemic, hoping high school sports will be played this school year. Now, with the decision from the state of California expected on January 25th, the high school community has stopped waiting. They are now banding together to have their voices heard. Sarah head football coach Patrick Walsh started a coaches group.
Well, the Golden State High School football coaches community started pretty much out of pain. I've felt helpless in 2020. Like, where do I turn to? How do we get answers? How do we get help? How do we band together? And I just really didn't feel like there was anything like that. And there was a watershed moment where I think Colorado walked back their decision not to play, and they allowed high school sports to play in the fall. And that was the moment where I felt the most helpless. Like, maybe we should be doing this.
A parents group was formed on Facebook with thousands of parents organizing efforts to try and convince the state to allow high school sports to play this school year.
So there's a new Facebook group. It's called Let Them Play CA, and or you can get there. You can access it by going to playca.org. And the Facebook group is a parent-run group, a parent-led group started by just a couple down in San Diego just 1 week ago. And we have thousands upon thousands of members now, probably over 25,000 in just 1 week.
All of those parents are looking at sports played in 40 states this fall without significant problems. This action is from a playoff game played in Houston 2 weeks ago, part of a 13-game season played throughout Texas.
You know, our data shows that being around each other in high school, in a high school environment, is not a super spreader event. And you can also look back at the 40 states that did play high school football. While this won't go on without incident, and no state was immune to clusters here and there, but the data shows from all those states that it is safe to play high school sports.
Other states, as we all know, have gone back to sports successfully and safely. It's not that we're just saying we want them back on the field and just get them back. We want to do it safely and in a positive manner, without a doubt, but there have been several other states across our country that have done it in a successful manner. And so I just feel that we should be able to be given the chance to do the same.
A number of Bay Area athletes chose to travel to other states to play their games to increase their chances of being recruited by Division I colleges. Buffy Williams considered moving so her son Flynn, a Serra football player, would be guaranteed a chance to play.
I will just go on record and say that, we were one of those families that was considering moving. And the team that Finn was going to play for, they played every game except for one that the other team had to back out of, and then they went all the way, played in the state semifinal game. So it was 13 plus games that they played in successfully.
If an athlete who did stay in California did not have a scholarship to start this school year, they are now out of luck with colleges recruiting from the states playing games.
I've had schools, like I was looking into Cal Poly, I was talking to their coach, and he kind of had to just tell me up front, I have a lot of seniors coming back, I don't have enough scholarship money, I can't take you, and it's hard to hear.
And right now we're able to talk to coaches, but a lot of them are still trying to figure out the financial situation, and a lot of them have moved on to the 22 class.
Pretty much just hoping for a season, because our season is definitely in jeopardy right now, and it kind of sucks because for all 3 years that you're in high school, you kind of think about your senior year, and it sucks to think that I possibly could not get it this year.
This past Friday, high school athletes throughout the state held rallies to let state officials know they want badly to have games played starting right away.
We've been ignored for too long. We've been trying to play our sports. We've got a lot of seniors who've been waiting for a long time, and we just want to speak our mind, show the state of California that we're still here. We're not backing down. We want to get our sports.
I'm hoping that we can at least return to games even with social distancing, at least the possibility of being able to play games.
Senior year was going to be my year to break through and get to a lot of coaches to see me, and it's like that for a lot of kids. I know a lot of seniors, this is their last chance to really show the college coaches that they can play.
The ban on sports not only affects the high schools, it affects all ages of athletes.
And the pain that I feel, just when I think about kids not being able to play Little League baseball, losing a 12-year-old year, it breaks my heart. A kid like Finn Williams, who is a senior on my program here at Serra High School, it breaks my heart to think that, his season's on the brink right now. And the lessons learned from youth sports through next level flag football, just the joy we see and the happiness that sports brings and the lessons that are learned. We have a whole generation of kids right now who are missing out on that and losing that, and it's a tragedy.
The Let Them Play group realizes some families might not want their children playing during a pandemic.
100%, and I also think it's a family's choice. I think that every family has the personal choice and ability to choose whether or not their child goes back and plays.
These athletes will now wait a little longer for a decision from the state, a decision affecting their lives for the rest of their school year and beyond. The Let Them Play movement is hoping all of the rallies and pleas to state officials, along with data from sports played in other states, will help bring a decision to allow sports played right away.
Coming up, Marin Catholic offensive lineman supporting members of his family who are battling cancer.
You're watching 49ers Cal High Sports, the #1 high school sports show in the nation. We are back with the story of a Marin Catholic football standout and his devotion to his family.
Kai Peterson Davison is succeeding on the football field and in the classroom as he supports 2 members of his family battling cancer. Danielle Podlofsky has the story.
Marin Catholic offensive lineman Kai Peterson Davison watched both his mom and grandma fight cancer. Kai uses them and their battles as motivation to play the very best he can out on the field.
We're ready.
6'2", 267-pound senior offensive lineman Kai Peterson Davison is the anchor for the Marin Catholic offensive line. Kai fights every snap to protect his quarterback. Fighting is something Kai has learned firsthand, watching 2 of his family members battle cancer.
Both my grandma and my mom had cancer since like middle school and now through high school. They're both strong, so I wasn't really worried. I knew they would pull through. That's what they reassured me. And they're all healthy now, so happy.
Family is very important to Kai, and he shares a close bond with both his mom and grandma.
I've been extremely close to my mom, been with her obviously all my life. We've had a really close bond. And as well as my grandma, I'm really close with her. I get to see her all the time. Even through these times I get to see her. It's a little less. Usually we'd go to dinner pretty much every weekend. We'd be at their house, but I'm really close with my whole family.
While his mom and grandma are now cancer-free, watching them fight cancer was really hard for this talented player. In difficult times, Kai looked to football to ease his mind.
Thankfully, his football was a great outlet for him to kind of just go and play and forget about everything that was going on. And for me, it was just really wonderful every week to go and watch his games and have something to focus on myself, something positive at the end of every week.
Football has played a big part my whole life. Whenever I'm going through anything, kind of look to football as an escape. I feel like football's always been there for me, hasn't really left me. I've always been able to play, train, or whatever it is.
Marin Catholic head coach Mazi Moyed is also there for Kai. Coach Moyed is a cancer survivor himself.
I'm a cancer survivor as well, and so I understand from his perspective as well as his family's perspective, sort of the shoes they're all in and the dynamics that were in place there and what he had to walk and what the family had to walk through.
I actually sat down with Mazi when I was diagnosed, and he had a lot of great resources for me and for my mom when my mom got sick. He was the first person to show up on my parents' door, sharing his knowledge and his resources with us. It's like part of the family, and we're so grateful to have him. He's not just an amazing coach, but he's a great person too.
Kai is a team captain and 2019 All-MCAL first team offensive lineman. The big man has 4 Division I offers from San Jose State, Air Force, Navy, and Wyoming. But the recruiting process is anything but easy during a global pandemic.
It was a little bit rough as I wasn't able to go visit the schools or anything or have any close contact. It was all like Zoom calls and FaceTime and stuff like that. So it was a little bit difficult, but overall I think I made the right decision and I'm happy about it, how it went out.
After committing to San Jose State in November, Kai is already rocking a team t-shirt. Kai is excited to become a Spartan and to be staying close to home.
San Jose State did an excellent job in recruiting him, built a great relationship with him, and I think the COVID factor actually helped them out, sort of, hook him. Made him want to stay closer to home, closer to his parents and grandparents and family overall.
Even while undergoing cancer treatments, Kai's mom and grandma made it to most of Kai's games.
I wanted him to know that no matter what was going on, I was going to be there. Just giving him that, reassurance that mom's okay. It's going to be hard, but we're going to get through it. And I think showing up showed him that no matter what you're faced with in life, as long as you show up and give your best effort, everything's going to be okay. So I think that helped him kind of channel his energy and not, be fearful that mom was going to be sick for a long time.
They don't miss a game. I don't think my mom's missed a game since first grade. My grandma's always fighting to get out there no matter what. They've been there every step of the way. driving me to practice, being at games, just everything.
San Jose State is just 1 hour away from Kai's home. Kai is looking forward to having his 2 biggest fans cheer him on at Spartan home games.
I want to make them proud. When they're out watching me, gives me a little extra bit of motivation, not quit, not give up on anything.
Every game with our gear on, we already have gear, we have the flag up in the garage, and my parents couldn't be more excited, so they're pretty pumped that they can take in some games.
Marin Catholic's Kai Peterson Davison comes from a strong, resilient family, a family of fighters. With his mom and grandma serving as inspiration, Kai feels prepared to take on any challenge that comes his way. After months and months of practicing, Kai says he is more than ready to get his final high school football season started. Robert and Aubrey, back to you.
Thanks, Danielle. Coming up, our Lexus of Stevens Creek Volunteer Award as we meet members of the Carondelet lacrosse team and see all the ways they've given back to their community during COVID.
49ers Cal High Sports will be right back.
Some see a grilled cheese sandwich and ask why. I see a new kitchen with a grill and ask why not.
I really need to start adding less to cart and more to savings.
Sitting on this couch so long made me want to make some changes, starting with this couch.
Yeah, I need a house with a different view. And this is the bank that will help you do it all. Because at U.S. Bank, our people are dedicated to turning your new inspiration into your next pursuit.
It's understandable to feel anxious, stressed, or lonely because of COVID-19. Physical separation, your own health, and the health of friends and family can weigh heavily on you. Call a timeout on work. Get a game plan for mental wellness with crucial mental health resources from CalHOPE. We'll help you carry the ball. Call 1-833-317-HOPE to talk to someone who can help, or visit calhope.org. CalHOPE, official partner of the San Francisco 49ers.
For more than 65 years, Cupertino Electric has been delivering power and possibilities. With offices throughout California and project sites throughout the U.S., Cupertino Electric today builds renewable, commercial, utility, and data center projects for some of the most influential companies in the world. Beyond that, we are a people company. We build family, communities, and meaningful careers. Visit CEI.com today or connect with us on LinkedIn, Facebook, or other social sites to see our openings and join our team.
Devcon Construction is #1 in the Bay Area and Silicon Valley because of trust. 95% of our business comes from repeat customers. They know the customer is our top priority. That's why Devcon was the choice for the 49ers Stadium and for the Earthquake Stadium. Devcon was also chosen when outstanding schools like Bellarmine, the Nueva School, and Mitty wanted the very best on time and on budget. Top Bay Area companies know Devcon is the best choice whether it's new construction or renovation. Devcon Construction, helping to build the best in Silicon Valley. Lexus of Stevens Creek presents the Volunteer Award each week. This award leads to $10,000 in scholarships given out at the end of the year.
Tonight, Allie Williams introduces us to the Carondelet girls lacrosse team and how they've combined 2 of their community service clubs into one big event.
Through the struggles of the past year, 3 members of the Carondelet lacrosse team have been a bright spot in so many lives, doing whatever they can to help those in need.
When COVID-19 shut down schools and sports last spring, it was hard enough for many student athletes to adjust to their season's early end. But 3 lacrosse players at Carondelet turned their shortened season into an opportunity to serve others. Isabella Varan, Grace Mazaleski, and Margaret Gallagher are juniors on Carondelet lacrosse, but they formed a deeper bond through their community work, and each has her own extensive volunteering history. Grace gives leadership talks to younger girls, something she is thankful to pay forward.
You're able to get these talks about different virtues and leadership skills. We're able to tie that in with the Catholic faith kind of. I grew up getting those talks, so I thought it would be a good idea to start giving back to them in high school. And then I'm also a counselor at Camp Monticello. I'll host activities and we'll all just work together. And then something I like to do more regularly is White Pony Express. So we do there, we just sort through foods, which are then donated.
Grace formed Carondelet's Athletic Service Club with Isabella, who tutors and works with the Monument Crisis Center in Concord.
Starting about last year during August, I started working with the Monument Crisis Center. I previously donated there and volunteered there, but I started doing volunteer work at the after school program where I tutored students 2 to 3 times a week. And then I also online tutor students during COVID, and they're students of healthcare workers who need to be in the hospital so they can't be at home while their kids are learning.
The Athletic Service Club, me and Isabella started last year.
Sports have been such a huge part of my life and Grace's, and just kind of our families too. We've grown up playing every sport there is. So seeing and hearing that some kids don't have that opportunity, I kind of wanted to do something about that. So I talked to Grace and she was kind of thinking similarly.
When the shelter-in-place order began in late March, the Athletic Service Club began collecting clothes and donations for the Monument Crisis Center and those struggling during the pandemic.
And we collected over 80 bags of donations, so that was awesome to be able to do.
Margaret finds purpose in helping the homeless. She and her mom serve those in need in Berkeley, and she formed her own club to further her cause.
I'm the leader of the Hearts for the Homeless Club at Carondelet, and I lead it with one of my other friends. So the first project that we did was a sock and toiletry drive. Then in the summer, the other leader and I collected feminine products. For this project, we worked with the Dorothy Day House in Berkeley as well. And so we collected pads and tampons and any other feminine products, because it is a consistent battle and they're not cheap. If you have to choose between a meal, it shouldn't be something that you have to fight for.
Margaret, Isabella, and Grace decided to combine the volunteer powers of their 2 clubs and form a major donation drive with sanitizer, masks, and sports balls. They also plan to create training videos to help kids get more active. It's an effort that has taken months of planning.
So that stuff, we were just why not combine efforts and just make it one big thing, and even bring it to the school and see if people who aren't even in either of the clubs would want to work on it.
So we are going to be filming the videos first. Every about 2 weeks we'll send out new videos, and they are just training videos made by our club members, so they're Carondelet students.
Last month, while preparing for such a big donation drive, the girls also made time to help others with some holiday spirit.
Over Christmas, we did the Adopt a Family. We're super last minute. I saw some families in my neighborhood and surrounding neighborhoods who weren't going to be able to give their kids Christmas gifts this year. And it was kind of heartbreaking. So we reached out to our team, and within a day, we were able to get over $200 in donations that we're able to go out and buy gifts for kids.
The girls have had to adjust to the ebbs and flows of COVID regulations, but they are excited to begin collecting and assembling their donation packages.
There's been so many people we need to contact and forms we need to fill out, and just being able to hopefully soon finally get it off the ground and get it going. I think it's going to be so nice to see all the joy on the kids' faces.
They held an event at Chipotle to raise funds for their mask, sanitizer, and balls. They've picked up bins for the Monument Crisis Center and will put together and distribute their donations this month. They're hoping for more in-person meetings after the pandemic.
It's awesome that we're able to do so much already, but it's kind of we want to get it going. We want to meet these kids, which we aren't going to be able to do in person until maybe next year. We're not sure yet, hopefully.
The girls are grateful to share their love of sports and service.
It is great. I love it. I feel it's brought the 3 of us closer together too, because being on the same team is just when you play a sport with someone, you have that connection and that bond that you guys are working for the same thing, but then when you're serving with them too, and you're also helping other people together, and then you're friends with them, it's just it's great.
And we've all been raised to want to give back to the community, and it's so nice to know that my friends have this same background as me, and that they want to give back, and that it's more than just a teammate, they're a real lifelong friend.
I think it's something that's just kind of in me and in my friends, which I'm so blessed to have friends like that. And I really just get out the joy that I see in others of being able to help them or do the little things that make their day.
They look forward to getting back out on the field with the rest of their lacrosse team, but until then, they'll keep working together to help their community.
The Monument Crisis Center continues to take donations, and Grace, Isabella, and Margaret are preparing their gift bags and donation packages to be distributed as soon as it's safe. Aubrey and Robert, back to you.
The Harker School brings us the Scholar Athlete Award each week, and this week it's Lee softball player Rachel McCarroll, who we met earlier. Rachel has an impressive 4.17 GPA going to Dartmouth.
That is impressive. Brought to you by the Harker School. On January 7th, Harker seniors Shrey Alag, Solani Shah, Aditya Tadamedi, and Sidra Zhu were named as 4 of the top 300 scholars in the 2021 Regeneron Science Talent Search, one of the country's most prestigious science competitions. The top 40 finalists will be announced January 21st. At Harker, transitional kindergarten through 12th grade students discover their passions. Learn more at harker.org.
Be sure to check us out on social media for lots of fun content, including videos, news updates, and lots more. We're at 49ers Cal High everywhere, including TikTok.
Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel to get updates on when new videos are posted each week. We have videos going back several years, so go to our YouTube channel to find your highlights from the past. Coming up, it's Deja Mu as we catch up with this super talented wide receiver from Palo Alto High.
You're watching 49ers Cal High Sports presented by U.S. Bank.
49ers Cal High Sports is brought to you by these fine companies who care about high school sports. By Lexus of Stevens Creek, we get it. By Clover Sonoma, the #1 milk brand in Northern California and proud partners of the 49ers. And by Devcon Construction, build, design, perform, sustain.
It's Deja Mu. Clover Sonoma Dairy helps us look back at high school stars now grazing in professional fields.
This week we feature former Palo Alto star Davante Adams. Davante was great for the Vikings as a wide receiver on the football team and guard on the basketball team. Davante led the Vikings to a state championship his senior year. He played his college ball at Fresno State before being chosen in the second round of the 2014 NFL Draft by the Green Bay Packers. Davante is now regarded as one of the very best wideouts in the NFL and was selected to his 4th consecutive Pro Bowl this year. Known for his work ethic and dedication to his community, Davante Adams will be known as one of the Bay Area's all-time greats.
Coming up, the stories we will be featuring on next week's show.
But first, here's this week's training tip by our good friends at the Reiki Center.
Hey, I'm Coach Juan Pablo. Today's training tip is resist rotation press. Rami here is going to demonstrate the exercise. We're going to start with a split stance position and do 3 different positions. So left leg forward, right leg back. You're going to press out, keep your hands in line with your sternum. Go ahead and press out, back in, do 1 more. Then we're going to drop, get down a little bit lower. 1 press, come back in, drop down all the way, a knee inch off the ground. 1 last rep, go ahead and press out, come back in, and that's your resist rotation press.
That's our 49ers Cal High Sports for this week. Thanks for watching. I'm Robert Braunstein.
And I'm Aubrey Tolliver. Join us next week. We'll feature the De La Salle tight end producing some pretty tight tunes. We'll see you next week.